Yo guys, welcome back to Off the Canvas Boxing. If you haven't done it already, please click the subscribe button. Okay, we're trying to get to 1k, take the belt off 1k, and then we're going on to the next British Challenger, which is 10k straight after that, and then European 100k, and world title is 1 million. Okay, we're gonna try and get those belts immediately. Okay, so we're road to 1k, and let's get, like, we're going to beat up 1k when we get there. So also follow me on all my social media platforms, okay, particularly on Twitch, because we'll be streaming this game on Twitch. I might have to add a couple of you guys on PSN so I can whoop your asses and then put the recording online. But oh no, I'm only joking. But without further ado, let's get straight into this reaction. This is the ESBC official alpha gameplay features. This is the first look of it. Okay, let's get straight into this.
Hey everyone, it's Ash at Steel City Interactive. In this video we're going to take you through the gameplay mechanics within ESBC. Bear in mind that none of it's final, it's still in alpha stages, and with your help and feedback we'll continue to make improvements.
Okay.
So these are the items that we'll be covering in this video. Obviously as the game progresses we'll be dropping more development videos covering more aspects of
movement, corner system, back foot combat, career aspects, 4 directional punches. 4 directional punches? Is that just the jab, right hand, or backhand, hook, or hooks and uppercuts? Yeah, I think that's just that's it. 4 directional punches is that. So that's the jab, right hand, or if you're southpaw, your backhand, uppercut and hooks. Interesting. Adrenaline in the gameplay. Feints, that is important. That's a skill, yeah, bruv. 36 punch control. 36 punch control. 36 punch. I don't know. Ringcraft, so that's like gate, like, I don't know, positioning of the ring. Okay, cool.
Of the game, things like referee, the clinch system, so items that aren't fully yet integrated, but this is a good starter for us to get into. So one of the standout features within ESBC is the movement system that we've developed. Here you can see David Adelaide getting himself out of danger by throwing a nicely timed check hook. That in itself is a new feature with regards to the punch control. That means you have complete freedom in terms of your fighting strategy, fighting off the front foot, back foot, and also pivoting yourself out of danger with check hooks, using the pressure of your opponent to your advantage. So within these clips you can see the physics system in action. Not every punch will be 100% accurate. Some punches will glance off arms, gloves, chest, and you can kind of see that with the jabs that have been thrown. Here you can see David fighting off his back foot, throwing a back foot jab and a back foot straight.
I've got questions. Hang on. When he throws a shot, when David throws a shot, right? David Adelaide, big up David Adelaide. You know, I've spoken to his manager a couple of times, and he's a good guy. He speaks a lot about him. So he's a good guy. But Eddie Hall, like, let me give you an example. You know when David throws that jab, is he going to react in any way, shape or form? Can he slip shots? Because the way he's looking, it doesn't look like he's reacting to that punch. You know when somebody gets punched, they react somehow. Like they move back slightly, or they try and get out of the way. Sometimes it's not quick enough. But that's what I want to know. Is head movement like a key aspect of this game, and also footwork as well? That's what I want to know.
Foot, throwing a back foot jab and a back foot straight.
Hi guys, this is Ethan. I'm a gameplay programmer here at SCI. and I'm here to talk to you about the feint system. So the feint system can be activated by using the same button as block, but instead of holding it down, you just tap it. So you can do a feint while you're throwing a punch, while you're throwing a lunging punch. You can use it to interrupt your punch altogether and just throw a different punch completely. So you can see here in this clip that I'm throwing a leaping left hook to the body. I cancel the punch after I've done part of the animation, and I transfer into doing a left uppercut to the head. So this is useful for mixing it up with your opponents so they can expect one attack from you, but you actually do a different attack instead.
Do you know what I noticed with this? Yeah, I could be wrong, but the upper body movement is very good upper body movement. However, the lower body movement, in terms of just the, let me move that a bit. So in terms of just the footwork, it's quite rigid, static. If that makes sense. It's quite like planted on the ground. It's not like bouncy foot movement, but maybe that's just that's David Adelaide's style and Eddie Hall. They're both like heavyweights, so their footwork might not be as up to scratch. But that's something I want to know about.
Hi, I'm Andy Turner. I'm the art director at SCI. I thought I'd just give you a quick overview of animation systems.
Footwork. That's what I want to know.
Our movement system was
Lyndon,
really fast.
Big up
and
Lyndon
fluid.
Arthur, yeah.
We wanted to get away from.
Hopefully he fights the likes of Anthony Yarnick in the rematch. I want to know who, like, Lyndon Arthur is a very, very good boxer, man, very underrated. I see him as at least top 3 lightweights or light heavyweights in the UK. Him, Boatsi, and a toss-up between Spider and Spider and Anthony Yard, I would say so. A toss-up. But if Spider beats Biff or Spider's up there as well.
From the sort of standard sort of clip-based animation, where you kind of like loop clips to put movement together, it just looks a bit robotic to me. So we've got a new system where it isn't done like that. It's much more performance-based. So that's really good, because when the professional boxers come in, they can just do what they do best. They know how to move. We're not telling them how to move. They do the movement based on what they would really do in a fight. We have our own motion capture studio, so that they can come in and we can just let them do their thing within certain constraints that we give them, so that we can capture the best parts of their movements, their traits, and all their punches and blocks and move sets. They're all captured here. There's no traditional animation as such. It's all motion captured.
Calm. With regards to footwork, now that cleared up a lot better. The things I was thinking about. With regards to footwork, I don't like it. Like they said in the beginning, it was robotic. Now I can see what they're saying with regards to it being robotic. What I've noticed, a lot of the footwork isn't in-game footwork. It's out-of-game footwork. Let's say before you get into a fight, and you're bouncing up on your feet up and down, and then you're walking straight, like, you know, the way they, like, you're walking forward and you're walking backwards, or you pivot in on your foot. It's like that, but it's not like in-game ones, because in-game ones you do like a foot feint, like sometimes you do like that, sometimes you step in with your foot, you twist your body as well, your hips, and sometimes you know what I mean, like it's not always you use your footwork to step forward and step back and left right, if that makes sense. Sometimes use it just to, I don't know, foot feint, or sometimes to set up a shot, like you want to set up a right-handed shot. So let's say you throw a right hand, would your feet be planted on the floor and then just throw the right hand, or would your body rotate with your right leg to make that power, to generate power onto that right hand, so you can land effectively? When you're throwing a jab, is it always a jab, like is it a static jab, like an American type jab where it's just you standing there, feet planted on the floor, jab, Or is it sort of like a European type of a jab where it's like you're stepping in with your jab, but you're stepping in with your front foot, like a jab, like jab. You know the way there is it like that's the kind of questions that I've got. But I think this is for a first game, the visuals and the crispness is very good. So I'm really happy with this. So let's get straight into this adrenaline system. What the hell is adrenaline system? That's what I want to know. Let's get into it.
So the adrenaline system was introduced because we wanted something more than just a stamina bar depleting. We wanted there to be the element of really going after a fighter if you think they're in trouble, or if you just want to get them out quickly. So what the adrenaline system does is once your heart rate reaches a certain BPM, your stamina will max out. But as you can see here, the downside to that is your maximum stamina reduces significantly. There's also a cooldown timer on this, so you have to really pace your fights, otherwise you could end up being gassed out after 3 or 4 rounds.
Okay, it's like a health bar.
So
Makes
the
sense.
counter punch system works really well with the movement, as well as the range of punches available, whether it's front foot, back foot, or to the side.
Good.
So we've done away with mini games in ESBC. This corner scene is still very early in terms of what's going to be shown, but essentially the quality of your corner team will determine how much you recover. So we wanted fight stances to really make a difference in terms of what you decide to have for your fighter. As an example, the Philly shell will block certain body punches, so rather than you having to always press block to block a certain type of punch, you can let your stance do some of that for you. Each stance will have a pro and a con to balance things out.
Makes sense. It makes sense. Like that's I had that sort of question. Is it a case where your stance, like how many variations of stance is there? Is it a case where you have that orthodox stance where you just like that, nice and simple? Some people's stance is like a Mike Tyson stance, so they walk in like that. Do you have that Roy Jones stance where your arms are quite low, where you're just throwing like hooks like that? Is it a stance like a Lennox Lewis stance where your arms are away from your body and you're jabbing? You have your arms like this, where your fists are close to the opponent, and you just jab like that, where your arms are extended away from your body? Is it a case where when you're throwing your stance, is because I see they did a Mayweather stance or so I think they said that Mayweather kind of not copy, but Mayweather got inspiration from that stance from James Toney as well. I want to know different levels of stances as well. Is it also like do you with regards to footwork, another thing of footwork, can you fight on the back foot with like a heel flick type of scenario, similar to how Muhammad Ali used to do? He used to generate around the ring, but he used to do like some heel flicks as well, as well as that with the head movement when you get to the ring. I'm gonna ask him bare questions, yeah, because I'm thinking like these lot will start watching this thing, yeah. So I got bare questions for these man. Question: when somebody's on the ropes, can you slip punches? That the slipping punches is a very good point. That's what I want to know.
We'll be releasing a career mode video in the future, but here are a few aspects that we can share in this video. So this is the promoter screen. This is where you'll sign with the promoter for a certain number of fights. The promoter aspect is important within the career mode because it will determine how fast you can climb the rankings table, how quickly you can get a world title shot, your popularity, and also when you're negotiating a fight. So the negotiation screen is impacted by your promoter, everything from the percentage split through to whether the fight is at home or away. Things like the training camp is in your control. That'll impact your finances, but we've also added a few gameplay elements, such as having injury insurance should you get injured, or should the opponent get injured in the lead up to the fight. There's also a rematch clause, but whether you're ranked higher or lower than the fight that you're going for will determine the chances of success. So this is the opponent statistics screen. Once your fight negotiation has been successful, you can go and check out your opponent's stats, but what's available will be determined by how good your coach is. So if you have a high ranked coach who has skills in the areas that are required, then you'll be able to see your opponent's strengths and weaknesses and his ratings. So you need to have a good coach to be able to see your opponent's statistics. So we hope you've enjoyed this video. We hope it's given you more of an insight into how ESBC plays. As I said at the start, everything you've seen is in alpha. We know there's some funky things happening in the game right now. We've got to work on environments, crowd, the character models, the punches, the movement, everything. So nothing's final, but hopefully it's given you a good indication with regards to the direction we're heading. Thank you for watching, and keep an eye out on our social media channels for the launch of the next ESBC fighter announcement show.
Alright, boom. Yeah, bruv, these guys are like, I really rate these guys for what they're doing in the sport of boxing. A couple of questions if you better watch it, right? Because I know you're gonna watch this thing. Yeah, first question, I'm gonna summarize it. Head movement. Head movement, is it static? Because a lot of the head movement that I've seen there is quite stiff, static. Is the footwork like, as well as that, is the footwork, can you feint with your feet? Can you pivot, like can you pivot on that turn of your feet? Can you twist your body into shots? So you know how sometimes a lot of Mexican fighters, when they walk forward, they twist their body into shots when they're doing a lot more body work and a lot more hooks, like a Canelo Alvarez type of scenario, okay, or like an Estrada. Also as well, with regards to the gameplay and the promoters, is it a case where, are you fighting on a certain network, or is it the ESBC network? If that makes sense. Like, is it merged into one big network, and the promoters just do whatever? Promoters basically put you on good shows. Also as well, like, with regards to, do you pick the judges as well, or the judges are picked for you? Or is it like football, where like in FIFA, where the referees are already picked for you and the crowd is already there and you just worry about the gameplay? That I wouldn't mind that also, you know, because I'm guessing the judges are not corrupt here. A big part of boxing as well is the weigh-in. Does that mean that that there is going to be a weigh-in, or there isn't going to be a weigh-in? I think FIFA recently this year brought in the introduction of a press conference where you ask questions if you're in a manager mode. Like, is there a presser or a weigh? Because a weigh-in is very particular to boxing and any form of a combat sport. Is weigh-in available? Is that like, and also if there is a weigh-in, some fighters negotiate, for example, like I think it was one of the Kell Brook's fight, they had a rehydration clause. No, it was at one of Amir Khan's fights. They had a rehydration clause, and then like, is that still valid as well? If you don't make weight, like, is training important as well? Because in boxing, a lot of the focus is on the game night, but a lot of fighters will know that in training is very important. So is a training feature applicable to the game, whereby you're doing things to lose weight or whatever it is, and etc, because that's what I would know as well. Like, when you're picking your trainers, are you actually training, or are you just simulating that training to the fight night, like that, the actual, like, the under-day experience? And then last question that I wanted to ask is, when you're working with home and away fighters, are you, let's say it goes to a points decision, are you more likely to get a favoured decision if it's a home fighter, like let's say it's Canelo Alvarez fighting in Mexico versus a Billy Joe Saunders who's coming is coming as an away fighter? Would Canelo, if it went to points and there's a large crowd, etc., would he get somewhat of a, well, how would I say, would he get somewhat of an advantage, a leg up in that scenario? Because that's another thing as well, because we all know that in boxing, if you are the home fighter, you get some home fighter advantages, whereby if it goes to points, the referee tends to focus on the home fighter. Is that still counted as well? What other questions that I got, bruv? I'm noticing Alvarez, so even if they release this game out as it is, we all know like things they could work on, etc., and where they can improve. Like a lot of the time with FIFA, I think FIFA has hit its ultimate high. I can't see how on FIFA, like FIFA 21, I can't see how you can get any better with FIFA 22. Maybe including one or two more features, but it's like the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 11. What we're looking at now, we are looking at the first ever touchscreen phone. Like if I'm comparing it to a touchscreen phone, this is one of the first. This is like an iPhone 2. That makes sense. Okay, it's got a long way to go to get to an iPhone 12, you know, a 12 Pro, but I like where it's going with. So thank you very much ESBC for bringing out this game, and big up you guys as well. Okay, hopefully you guys see this video and let me know what you guys think as well. I'm sure like a lot of these questions are probably asked during the game, during the meetings, etc. So if it is, ignore me. If it isn't, ignore me as well. Oh, and actually no, like ignore me. No more questions, okay? Because I'm gonna bombard you guys with too many questions. Oh, there's a last one, yeah. The type of shots that they throw. Okay, like let's say you're hitting at certain areas. Let's say the back of the head or a temple. Is the fighter dazed? Like, is the fighter like out of it? Or is it a case where, right, if you hit the temple, like it's the same way as hitting somebody's nose, if that makes sense? And also as well, do fighters get cut? That's a great question. Do fighters get cut in fights? Great question. Okay guys, hopefully you guys respond to, so I don't think you guys can respond to some of my questions, because some of my questions are so in detail, so finite and meticulous. I don't feel as though like you guys are gonna, unless you give me like some long ass responses, yeah, like so a list of all my questions and all the responses then. But those are some of the questions that people like me are asking. But nevertheless, great game, and I can't wait to look forward to its release. I don't know when it's releasing, but when it does, we'll be the first ones to stream it. Okay, so big up you guys. Thank you again very much more guys for watching this video. If you haven't done it already, please click the subscribe button and follow me on social media out of the canvas boxing. But thank you very much guys. Peace, love and prosperity guys, and I will catch you guys in a bit. Peace.